We got an accounting firm that is crashing and burning. They got 5 months of cash runway left. They somehow found a way to not make money in this environment. What? So we're gonna take a look at what they're doing, how you could maybe even help, and I even made a little surprise appearance.
Just text me, they're just about there. Somebody's driving up.
Let's roast a firm.
You call that a profit margin? Yeah, who needs automation when you've got 5 monitors? There is a mouse? Oh, is that what the client said? Well, maybe the client should prepare the return then, huh?
Okay, let's open the hood on this bad boy. It's a new firm, sitting at $150,000 a year in annual revenue. No tax, just accounting work in a big market, Orange County, California. They have 2 partners and 1 junior accountant. Pain points? Money. Specifically, there's not enough of it. They're losing money every month and need more clients. Only other pain point is cleanup projects. It's a big chunk of their current revenue, but it's a lot of work and challenging to scope. Right now, they don't have a specialization. They work with whoever has money to pay them. What are they enjoying? One of the partners, who doesn't have a background in accounting, loves sales and marketing, making videos and educational resources. They draw energy from spending time with other accountants and business owners and appreciate the lifestyle flexibility that their money-losing firm offers them. So I shared some details about the firm on Twitter, and the feedback was...
They're overstaffed for revenue. Something is wildly inefficient too.
Yeah, I'm struggling with this one. Most firms are struggling to meet demand. Yeah. I didn't want to be the one to say it, but if they like marketing, don't they even actually want to do the work? Why's no one said let the junior go yet? Roll up those sleeves, big boy.
I think 2 people need to get another job.
Needless to say, the firm owners knew that I was posting this tweet because I told them it was coming, but I'm not sure they knew just what it looks like to open yourself up to other accountants. And I'll be honest, I felt pretty bad. Usually these are like, hey, what's the next thing we could do to help you along? But most people were just saying,
Fire yourself.
But let's get through this, because a lot of their issues, like many firms, stem from specificity and pricing. With the exception of cleanup projects, they've got everyone on a fixed monthly fee, and they set it based on client revenue, with the average client coming in between $600 and $800 per month. But the entry point? $250 per month. For payroll, they charge $40 per employee per month and cover the cost of Gusto. How much? Gusto price. Okay. Okay, now workflow. No surprises in the tech stack: QBO, Slack, Gusto, ClickUp, and Ignition. They do the bookkeeping on either a weekly or a monthly cadence and have monthly or quarterly reviews with all clients, depending on size. Honestly, this is a hard one because most of the conclusions you arrive at are like, a little sensitive. Maybe not what you want to hear.
Something is wildly inefficient too.
I've got 4 bits of advice that I'll share, but I was still feeling pretty rotten about the whole thing. So I thought, what if I just turned up at their office?
So I'm waiting in like a garage. I should be here any minute. Just text me, they're just about there. Somebody's driving up.
Wait, what? Can I hug you?
Make some content.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, state your names, please.
My name is Austin Braunschweiger.
Your middle name too.
Austin Eduardo Braunschweiger.
Thank you.
Yes.
One more on the last name.
Braunschweiger.
I'm Jeremy Rockwell Millar.
Your middle name's Rockwell?
Yeah.
Isn't that baller?
It's pretty cool.
Like Norman Rockwell?
Yeah.
So Austin and Jeremy are the guys behind Amarlo, an accounting firm who, among other things, have been running a YouTube channel about how they're not gonna make it.
Accounting is terrible. Why would you do this?
And it's an entertaining window into kind of the everyday stressors of starting a firm. And honestly, they're good at it. But where does the fun end and the money making begin?
The cash runway is looking at current state. If we grow 0, probably 5 months.
5 months?
What? No. But that's if we don't grow at all and we're not onboarding people.
Let's look.
That's something you should have an answer for, right? That's not good.
Hang on, let's look.
40K.
We're pulling up, hang on. We're pulling up the online banking here.
Pull the P&L.
Okay, so how much money do we have?
39,000.
Okay, so 39,000.
And if we look at average net income for the past 3 months, we're at negative $6,000.
Negative $6,000 a month?
Yeah. And payroll hasn't hit, so
Yeah,
it's going to be 5 months.
Okay, yeah, so that's to
So,
zero. That's to zero.
You
You're
doubted
right.
me
You're right.
so hard.
You're right. You're right.
Does that keep you up at night, Jeremy?
All the time. That's why I'm in therapy.
Okay. Does that keep you up at night, Austin?
No.
Really? Why aren't you concerned?
I've never seen a accounting firm fail.
Yeah, we might be the first.
No, that's I think why everybody's so surprised.
Yeah. But I think that the reason
I'm surprised.
the reason why so we've never seen an accounting firm fail outside of pure neglect and them dying.
Man, if I'm you, that's just gonna make it hurt all the much more when it does, right?
But I think that it's a matter of time. You know, and like this is what I've been telling Jeremy. We're not seeing clients go away. So once we have someone, we have them. And we can pull levers so that we can get there. And the lever that we can pull is decreasing both of our salaries because that's more than all of our
That's the
expenses.
reason we're losing money.
Correct. Yeah, that's the reason why because like our overhead is almost nothing. We don't have an office. We have one part-time employee, and we pay ourselves. Right? Like our operating costs are maybe like $1,500 a month at most, and half of that's Wendy's.
So my first bit of advice is kind of a stop the bleeding bit of advice. And that's just go build a bunch of partnerships with other firms. You all know there's an abundance of work to be had out there right now. But for this firm, until you've picked up another like 10K a month in revenue or so, you're in the black, not burning cash, look to other firms for work. Now, is this a good long-term piece of advice? I'm not sure. You run the risk of picking up everybody else's scraps. But for now, it's a quick way to pay the bills, because the reality is you don't have the same luxury of being selective when you're literally running out of money. Okay, Austin, how did you get to this point running a firm? What did you do before this?
So before this, I worked as a staff accountant at a private company. I was preparing the financials and presenting them, and I got laid off there because of COVID. They laid off 30% of their workforce.
Okay, Mr. Sales, what are you doing in an accounting firm?
One day, a photographer friend of mine called me and said that they lost $50,000 and they didn't know where it went. And I realized that there was a bigger problem at large with small businesses and decided that small businesses needed help understanding what was going on with their financial information. So I got my MBA, and then I left the startup that I was at doing customer support and customer marketing and started an accounting firm.
But to be clear, you saw that problem, but you're not willing to do accounting, right?
Yeah.
You don't touch the accounting.
No,
That's awesome.
I prefer.
Well, no, you're not saying that. You're not allowed to say this.
So I am an accountant. I do accounting, but we are lucky enough to have enough runway to where I can free up my time and focus more on sales and marketing right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, let me cut in here. So, accounting guy, sales guy, who is IT guy, right? Right? Guys? Okay, well, wanna know who I use? Tech Guru. Let me tell you, it's an IT firm that specializes in accounting firms. Imagine that being your niche. Whew, that's none of my business. But the point is, guys, we gotta have a plan if that computer breaks. Oh, if that thing one day just, oh, what are you gonna do if you get up in the morning and that computer, that's getting serious, isn't it? Whew. Jeez. Okay, well, we need a plan. My plan, I'm just gonna call Tech Guru, and that is support. That's one of 3 things they do. Second, strategy. They're helping firms get into the cloud, move you over to SaaS products. Oh, speaking my language. Third, security. Because the last thing you need is somebody getting up in your biz who's not supposed to be there. Did you? So check out Tech Guru for all of your accounting firm's IT needs. Okay, tip number 2, go work for a cloud accounting firm for 6 months. None of you have worked in public accounting before. Public can teach you some bad habits, absolutely. But if someone will take you on contract for like 6 months while you're picking up that next 10K in revenue, which as we've discussed, you can absolutely do without one of your current team members,
Fire yourself.
you're gonna pick up a bunch of helpful tidbits around firm running. Now, make sure it is a smart firm, not just any old firm. Find a sharp person on Twitter and make them an offer they can't, make them an offer they can't refuse. How's the niche coming along?
Are we niched?
No,
We're not. Why not?
we've tried.
We have tried twice.
We have customers from all types of industries, so we don't really have an industry niche. We have more of a psychographic niche. Similar to a demographic, lists out attributes of certain persons. So for example, like the interests that they have, the industries that they're in, the location that they're in, all that kind of stuff is demographic. Psychographic is more about the way that they think, the things that they will take action on, all that kind of stuff. So for us, we know that our psychographic niche is people who are trying to grow their business. Businesses between $300,000 to $500,000 in revenue who are stuck and trying to get unstuck. And we can leverage the product that we built by doing financial analysis, bookkeeping, and advising to bring them from an unstuck place to something that is
more aligned with their goals.
Tip number 3. I encounter this a lot, where people think they've arrived to a degree of specificity that's final. You can always get more specific. So I think you can do everything that Jeremy's talking about here, but you can also pare it down to industry, down to tech stack. Doesn't mean 100% of your clients today are gonna fit that perfectly. But your marketing, it's gonna be able to be laser focused on someone that's super specific. It's gonna make the marketing much more impactful. A super specific YouTube channel that's fantastic for 50 people is what you need right now. Resist the urge to go wide. Kelly Park said it best, I think, get super specific. Look at the tech stack, demographic, geography, services, and minimum fee. So there's kind of 2 sides to your strategy right now. As you're building firm partnerships to kind of stop the bleeding, this is your longer term play. That perfect fit client where you can charge top dollar and build a killer, more long-term firm around that type of person.
We had done like an exercise where we kind of were digesting what our product is and how to get the word out on that, because before we were saying, oh, we're a bookkeeping firm, but we're not. We don't just do books. We meet with our clients on a monthly basis. We're almost like business coaches, but we're not business coaches because we do books. I think that in digesting that thread, realizing that all this advice is like, okay, yeah, like we're doing this, but what are we doing wrong? It directed us to think about, well, how are we doing it, right? And the approach to it.
It's really hard to say what you are until you've decided specifically who you are for. When you know who you're great for, that vernacular comes much easier because you know how these people talk. You know what keeps them up at night and how you specifically can solve that problem. The fact that it's still hard to define points to just the greater need for client specificity. For example, young entrepreneurs who are stuck. They can be stuck for a ton of reasons, right? But a freelance photographer who gets stuck at 80K a year in revenue, that's something very specific you can help with. Do you hire? Do you specialize? That sort of thing. So 4th tip here comes down to pricing what you do. I think most people saw their rate schedule and thought, well, that's some cheap bookkeeping. But for coaching, it's wildly cheap. I will say, you can't be a good coach for everyone. So the idea of just slapping coaching on and it being actually helpful, I don't know. The more specific you are, the more valuable that coaching becomes. But if it's me, honestly, I'd probably increase your minimums for new clients around 40% and increase those existing clients about 25% year over year until you get to something you're more comfortable with. What if someone leaves? Yeah, that's great. You'll still make more money even when those people are leaving. Today, the client who's willing to pay $400 a month, but not $600 a month, isn't your ideal client. And the easiest way to find out who those clients are, charge them $600 a month. I also think it's worth getting more specific about what coaching services you offer. Is everyone getting it? What's the frequency? Because that ought to be like half of the price of the entire engagement.
So what was your, like, when you saw that thread,
Yeah.
what does it feel like to be on the other side of that? So you submit anonymized information,
Yeah.
and then I go out and give it to everybody and let them tear it to shreds. Like,
Yeah.
what did it feel like on the other side of that reading it?
Well, I needed therapy.
Yeah.
Did Jeremy talk to you at all about it? Like,
Oh, yeah.
what did he first say to you about? Was he like dismissive of it?
No. He was like, bro, we're getting roasted. He was on his phone because I think we had dinner that night, and so we were hanging out, and like Jeremy was like glued to his phone watching all the replies come in. I think that you were genuinely very interested in like, okay, what are we doing? Does this help us? Are we doing this?
And everyone said that Jeremy needs to be fired and Austin needs to do more work was the general impression I got.
I think that's
That's pretty fair.
Pipeline be funnel, boys.
That's you.
First, you don't need 3 professionals to produce $150,000 in revenue. Someone needs to find another firm.
You.
You'd be really shocked at what I'm living on then, someone says.
How's it feel to be salary flexed on by people who aren't putting their financial statements online?
That's actually. Yeah.
Show me your pay stubs! And always remember, just because you like something funnels doesn't mean you're good at it. Outsource as needed, hire a coach when you need to, when you can afford to.
Now, can we give these guys some love? Y'all were mean.
You were mean.
So mean. Do you have accounting clients you don't want? Send them over, not the bad ones, not the stinky ones. I'll link their website below. And if you too would like to get your firm anonymously roasted, these guys gave me permission. But to have your firm anonymously torn to shreds, check out the form in the video description. And check out the last roast a firm I did about an old, like $1 million, old-timey legacy firm.